You said you saw my victory in the flames.
I did. I still see it.
The flames lied. And I'm no better than a savage, trusting in a fire god.
So Game of Thrones, what do you think? What's your predictions?
So, I have a couple of predictions. My first prediction is everybody freaking dies.
Okay.
You know, and that the White Walkers end up taking over, you know, Westeros and eventually that world. You know, my other prediction is that Khaleesi, the Queen of Dragons, and Jon Snow win and they become the rulers of Westeros. And those are two opposite ends of the spectrum. For sure, Cersei dies. For sure, most of your supporting characters, Jaime, the Mountain, all these people are dead. I've done a lot of research and reading about, you know, the stuff they have let out, and HBO has been a freaking vault. I mean, they have locked down this thing, threatening these actors with taking all the money they've made off of this show if they let anything leak. So they've done really good, but just seeing what has happened up to this point, you know there's going to be a whole lot of death. And one of the things that I did read or heard on a talk show that had, what is the actor that plays Jon Snow's name? Kit Harington.
Yeah.
He said that the battle in this season is the largest battle that has ever taken place on television or in movies in history. They shot it for 55 nights, night shoots for 55 nights in Ireland, and he said he's never seen anything like it before. So if you got a battle that big, there's a lot of folks going down in that.
The problem with a lot of with predicting what's going to happen is this show has always been about being unpredictable. And there are certain things that everybody expects with Lassie. They expect the Mountain and the Hound to fight to the death. They expect that I've heard this over and over again. Cersei, she's gonna be in a situation where they're gonna need to conquer. Either the White Walkers are gonna conquer King's Landing, or Jon Snow and everybody else are going to be running away from the White Walkers and trying to get into King's Landing, and she's going to bar the gate, and she's going to decide to do what the Mad King never did and burn the whole city down. And
that sounds like a Cersei thing.
And during that, Jaime gets his honor back and he kills her, because they didn't cover this on the show, but in the books, when she goes to the witch and has her future foretold.
Right.
They said that you were terrifying. With cat's teeth and 3 eyes. You're not terrifying. You're boring.
You don't know what I am.
I know you're a witch. And you can see the future. Tell me mine.
The witch tells her that she's going to be killed by her younger brother.
Okay.
But see, this is the thing. She always thought it was Tyrion. That's why she was so intent on getting Tyrion killed.
Getting rid of him, yeah.
But she was born, she's twins with Jaime.
But she was born first.
She was born first. So everybody thinks that it's actually going to be Jaime who's going to kill her. So those are the like, for book readers, these are the obvious things that we think are going to happen. But I think maybe they're going to throw us a few curveballs.
Well, if history is any tell, the making of this show has left the books on many occasions with just a brief reference to the book material, but they're telling almost a different story at this point.
Right.
You know?
Did you see that Aftermath trailer they released?
No, I haven't.
It was basically it was another teaser because God,
Maybe you can throw it in here.
it's actually on my channel.
Oh, it is already on.
Yeah.
If it's that one, then yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah, they take the camera through Winterfell. And,
Right. Yeah. Okay.
and
I've seen it.
You
Yeah,
see
yeah,
Jaime's hand on
right. Yeah.
his golden hand on the ground, and
Right.
you see Jon Snow's sword sitting in the snow, and basically they're building up
They're trying
whole
to imply
expectation
things, yeah.
that everybody's going to die. So I'm thinking that either everybody is going to die, or that they're trying to set your expectations so that you're surprised when some people don't die. So I'm thinking some people will die, but maybe
I would put my next paycheck on the fact that a lot of the main characters are going down. If not all of them, there's going to be there's not going to be many left that you're pulling for by episode 6. And I did read that they said the reason they only did 6 episodes was because they only had enough subject matter for 6 episodes to finish telling this story, which amazes me because coming into this, one thing that they did is as the story starts with one family, then it progresses and their world becomes bigger, and then they start telling multiple stories. But they introduce you to new characters and new families, but everybody is working towards a central goal or a fight or whatever you want to call it. And now as it's coming to the end of the series, is they're bringing all these stories back together to a final. Now it's going to be the people versus the White Walkers, you know, and do these people look beyond their own selfish wants and desires to pull together to fight a common evil, or do they create a situation where they, you know, cause their own demise?
Will Dany risk her dragons again after losing one?
I think that she has no choice but to risk her dragons because now the White Walkers have one.
Well, why are they fighting in Winterfell in the previews that we've seen? They're preparing to fight the White Walkers at Winterfell. So they've made it all the way out of the mountains down to Winterfell. Because if you see the map, there's a big gap between Winterfell and the Wall. So
Right.
obviously she didn't do anything
Between them coming to there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. See, that's one of the many questions.
And what's going to happen when she finds out that she's Jon Snow's aunt? Because there's some indications, and I think there was another trailer released, and they show her.
I think she's already going to be with Jon Snow's baby at that point.
You think that she's going to have a baby?
I do. I think because it's already been shown that
That
she is special. You know, she's special. That she is the mother of dragons and the queen of fire and all these things. And, you know, and he is special. He survived murder. You know, he was brought back from being killed. So they're two magical beings that have, leading up to the end of this last season, have fallen in love with each other.
Well, they hinted last season that she tells Jon Snow that she can't have children because of what that witch told her, and he says, "Well, maybe that might not have been the best." I forget what he exactly says, but maybe you shouldn't trust what a witch tells you. So I think they're setting up the fact that she might get pregnant.
She's going to be.
And I think maybe because from what I've heard, George R.R. Martin told them in rough detail what was going to happen in the last 2 books, and from everything I've heard, he said it was bittersweet. So,
which is his style, man.
So what I'm predicting is that yes, they do have a kid, but everyone else dies, and somehow somebody survives to take that kid, maybe to Essos, and that kid is Azor on high or whatever Melisandre made his prediction about Jon being the Lord of Light and coming back from because he was resurrected.
Right.
But I think it might actually be their child that they have together, and even though the White Walkers win, there's this hope when they have this baby that baby will come back and maybe defeat the White Walkers, like because in the book there's all this account of the long night and what happened during the long night. And
but I'm telling you right now, if they leave us with a cliffhanger after 10 years of watching this show, I'm gonna be pissed. They better cross the T's and dot the I's and finish this thing out right. I don't care if they kill everybody in it, as long as at the end I go, okay. Because if they got me going, what the
or it could be somebody, the savior, because there is going to be some kind of savior, I think, at the end. Now, whether they've been setting Jon Snow up as that, whether it's him, whether it's Daenerys, I don't know. That's what I'm curious to see.
I've been watching a lot of like late night television on YouTube of them interviewing the stars, Kit Harington and Maisie and what is the girl's name? But anyway, and every one of them are being tight-lipped. But the one thing that they said, all of them said, even the girl that played Cersei, they all said that when they did the table read for this final season, and they've never done a table read in all the other seasons, but in this season, they all sat down and did a table read. And that they were all crying and completely in shock. And Amelia Clark said that she had to get up and leave the room because she was so devastated or surprised by what they found out happened to everybody.
Well, a lot of people are going to die. That much we know.
So they got what, 6 hours to shut this thing down properly. And they've done such a good job up to this point. And it took them 2 years to finish this one.
There's no way they're going to satisfy everybody either. I guarantee you, when it's all said and done, there's going to be a lot of complaining.
You can make some of the people happy some of the time.
It's going to be rough.
As long as I'm the one that's made happy in the end, that's all I care about.
Because we're pretty much left with the characters that they couldn't touch.
You know what we should do? We should have like final episode party for Game of Thrones. What do you think?
Okay.
All right.
I'm in.
And then we'll vlog it and put it up on either one of our channels.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for the predictions of Game of Thrones final season. Please drop your predictions in the comments because we want to see what you guys think is going to happen. Maybe we're missing the whole point. Maybe we're way off. Neither one of us claim to be experts at this. So drop your comments, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See you later.